So I'm going to do 2 challenges today, and I'm going to take 40 minutes each and then look at the solutions. So in this one, I think I have to build this pyramid here based on the number of floors, which is the variable that I'm gonna be getting. So obviously I need to calculate the spaces between them, how long the last line is gonna be, which is the number itself. And then I have to put this pattern in the middle. Oh, it's actually, oh, so it doesn't increase one by one. It's increasing by 2 here, because it has to be symmetrical. Yeah, so this is gonna be difficult. I can't think about. Um, oh, actually, I still have to think about the way that I'm going to go about this before I search anything. And I'm trying to think what is the correct approach to put the spaces based on the number of characters here. So there's 5. Here is gonna be 2 on each side. Increases by 1. But what if there is 6? Is this true? So I think if there are 6, I need to put 2. So how do I calculate the spaces between them? Is the question. I think I can get the remainder and put. So let me think. I think the best way is to put the remainder, but take the number, get the remainder, and use it to build the spaces. But then I would have to do the total minus the remainder to get the stars. And then I will have to do this in a loop to do the other ones. Increasing by 1 or by, yeah, that's the problem. Because the amount that is going to increase depends on the final number. So first, I think I can check if the final number is either even or odd. And depending on that, I know what the first one is going to be and how much is going to increment. No, it has to increment by 2, I think, each time. If you want to have symmetrical spaces. So the only difference is if it's I always forget what's odd and what's even. See if like this. Okay, so even is better. So if number is even, it's gonna have true in the top. But maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. I can just make the final number and subtract true. But how do I? Okay, so now I think I know what to search for. Because I was thinking that I would have to print this one first, but I think I actually have to print this one first. Or maybe I have to put them on a list and it doesn't matter which order I make them. Yeah, it's a vector. Vector of strings. So standard vector string. Not sure if that's how I initialize a vector, but and large. It's gonna be the size of the vector. So I'm thinking about creating a loop and then multiplying making a string that has these stars based on the number and then subtracting 2 from the number in each iteration until it reaches 1 or 2. So I have to make 2 conditions, or maybe I don't need to. I just check at the end to see if the last one is an empty string. If the first number is an empty string. Because if the number is even, then this one is going to be empty. If I subtract by 2 each time, then I can remove the empty string in the end. So now I just have to think if there is a method to take strings off the end off the beginning. How to change beginning and end of string C++. And then I just have to change the stars uh, to empty spaces. Yeah, the structure of the string is the most difficult part. Maybe I can build them all in the right and then shift them later in another loop. Like by passing them to the middle depending on how many stars exist. But that I think is less efficient. Maybe I can start typing out the maybe I don't need to specify there the size actually. Doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna do standard string and power. Yeah. Oh, it should be unsigned, actually. Should match the type of the variable that I'm gonna receive. So I'm gonna be looping based on numbers, and now I have to think if I can do a string that standard string result. Results plus equals. I'm not sure if plus equals is the best. Maybe it's like this. That way I multiply I by the pattern, and I do I equals minus equals true. Well, plus equals true. And results equals empty string. So then I have to push back, actually. Well, it has to be this times I. And this is the thing that I'm not sure about. It's whether or not I can multiply this one based on the number of I. So the way that I'm thinking is this is gonna loop, and then it's gonna multiply by this pattern, and it's gonna put on this string. And it's gonna go 2 by 2, so it's symmetrical. Oh, but actually it has to start from it has to be the other way around, actually. Because it has to start from the biggest one. So that should be greater than or equal to 0, minus minus. And here is minus 2. Or maybe I can just put here I is equal to 2. Maybe this works. Then I multiply and I pass this to the result, and then I push back the result into the vector. So tower, push back, results, tower, I, dot push back the result. So I create the string push to the tower based on the index of I, and clean the string for the next iteration. Now I just have to figure out how I'm gonna put the spaces between them. Because this way, now let's see if this way works first. I think I can return this. If it does what I'm thinking it's gonna do. I think it's tower that I have to print. Yeah, so this Push values to a vector, C++. Maybe I need a library or something like that. Should use this pushback. Oh, maybe this is the syntax that I did correctly. So why is this giving me a warning now? I'm pretty sure I did this on previous challenges and it was fine. Maybe if I initialize it like this. Oh, maybe it's because I have to do it like this actually. I forgot that there's a difference between the... Yeah, so this solves this part. And I think it's initializing like this is the recommended thing to do. From the book I was reading about C++ a long time ago. No viable overload. So probably I can't do this. So let's write it out. Yeah, so I can't do it like this. It might be because it's probably because of this operation here. Because this is... Oh, it has to be a string actually because I didn't initialize it. This is not a string, I'm not looping over a string. If I was looping over a string, it would be a const char, I think. And then I have to do those methods to convert into a string so I can add here. But here I think it already, maybe it initializes as a char actually. Yeah, basic string char. And unsigned int. Oh, so I'm multiplying this with the int, doesn't work. Can't multiply a string. Yeah, that's the problem. So let me think about how I'm gonna do this. The problem is if I use another loop to do this, it seems very inefficient. Yeah, so maybe I think I have to search more to see if I can do the final pattern already into this thing instead of doing like this. And I'm also gonna see this pushback, how to use it. Maybe if I just erase this, but then I'm not sure if it's gonna... Yeah, it's probably pushing back to the end anyway, even if I don't specify the index. And I'm using the wrong thing here. Let's see if the dot works. Yeah, so that went away, I think. OS string, aka basic OS string char instead of vector string. Yeah, this one I'm not sure about. Maybe. Yeah, this is not gonna solve, but maybe I can't print a vector. Yeah, I think that's the problem. So let's do 0 just to see the first one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so now the only problem is this stuff. I'll choose add leading and trailing spaces C++. Maybe we can do it with a loop, but then the pattern becomes the problem because how I'm gonna count. I would have to divide by n, get the remainder, and then use that to count. I think it's just overly complicated. First, find first not off to get the index the first time. Yeah, this is not a good search, I think. Maybe if I search for create string based on pattern. This seems interesting. So I think I have to add this first with the amount. And the problem is that I'm making -2 here. So obviously you can create a while loop to put this based on the number of floors. Oh, now, yeah, then I can decrease the number of floors, but then Yeah, I can do based on I actually. Much better. So let's do that. Oh, but if I use I, then it's a problem. So let's, yeah, but because then gonna modify I, so I can use another variable there. And let me just use another variable because it's easier. So while j bigger than and smaller than I are equal, actually, results plus equals this. And then I'm gonna be making j equals 0 each time. So let's see what do I get on this one. Forgot about this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a different pattern. If it's the first string, then no spaces, and then for the rest, it's a different pattern. Oh, I have to do unsigned here. Forgot. Oh, and I have to increase shape by one each iteration. It doesn't seem like the most efficient solution, actually. Yeah, so now I don't understand why it's timing out. Let me try to do plus equals 1. Maybe it's this. So I'm initializing equal to the number of floors. Then while is bigger than 0, subtracting by 2. So maybe it's this thing here. Let's see if I do it like this, it's gonna have any difference. Because I just don't see what else can be wrong here to make this loop forever. Oh, it's when it reaches 0 probably. That's why. That's why. So I'm thinking which one I make bigger than 0. I think it has to be this one. Or I can make different. While j different than I. But I think it's the same thing because it's not gonna count the time that j is equal to y, and I'm not sure if I need to count that. It's still giving me an infinite loop. No, I don't get it, actually. What's wrong here? Let me erase this loop and see if it works again. Hmm. So maybe it's this one. Maybe it's a problem with the backend of Codewars for some reason. Actually, yeah, I don't understand what's going on here. Standard counts. Let's do enforce. Hmm. Oh, so maybe it's because I'm making it equal to n floors, and but I should be decreasing I. That's the problem. I don't understand why this is not decreasing I. Oh, it's because it's unsigned. That's why. So it decreases to 0, but not beyond that. That's the problem. So, yeah, what am I gonna do now? Do I have to make bigger than 0, but then the problem is that I don't count the last one. And I should be counting. Yeah, but I wonder how I convert an unsigned to an integer. And this I'm not sure if it's gonna work. It's probably because of this one. Yeah, but now I should stop at 1, I think. It's gonna stop at 0, but yeah, and this is 0, so it doesn't work. I need to convert them into integers if I want to do it like this. It's still timing out. The issue for me is if I create a reference, isn't that gonna be the same thing as having the unsigned? Because I'm just referencing in memory, but I'm referencing something different. So from this one, it seems like I can do just... Yeah, but if I do int, I think I tried this before. Let's do like this and see what happens. Yeah, that's the problem. So maybe I have to do with unsigned. It's just a part of the challenge. And if I have to do this way, I probably have to do from starting from 0 and then going up. And here, make 0. Yeah. So make equal. So I don't understand this mistake. It's from an address, but I'm gonna try to initialize the results in a different way. That doesn't work. So I think I'm just gonna look at the solution because the time is up. I don't want to spend a bunch of time. I can't spend a bunch of time actually trying to solve the rest. Because maybe I won't submit it and I will just leave it like this. So in case I wanna try to solve it again in a different time. Yeah, but I have things to do off stream, so I can't spend more time trying to solve it. Also, it's initializing two variables inside of the for loop. I didn't know we can do that. And then making plus two and plus plus. And forwards minus I minus 1. I don't understand why it does it like this. Oh, that's... Yeah. Maybe it's because of the unsigned thing. So it's gonna put the empty spaces minus 1. Then plus string k. So this, I guess, it creates the string with these patterns based on the number here. And I guess it's minus 1 because it's taken from both sides. So it's gonna be minus 2. I think I get it now. Yeah, the logic of how to solve it is not hard. The only hard part of this is knowing the methods, I think. And this stuff about unsigned. It's still a little bit confusing for me to think about it. Here, this way, minus I minus 1. But yeah, obviously you get it. Here, pretty much the same thing, but using what I only instead. I think I'm gonna move on to the next one. Count characters in your string. The main idea is to count all the recurring characters in a string. If you have a string like ABA, then the result should be A equals 2, B equals 1. What if the string is empty? Then the result should be empty object literal. I think I did this at some point. If I remember correctly, is map that I have to use. Count the... There was a challenge, count the repetitive things on a string. But I forgot how I did it. I think it was map. Oh, here's map. Char unsigned. Oh, you can use count actually. Standard count. I think I'm gonna watch these videos here.
Hey guys, it's Chili here. Welcome back to
I think it's this one.
operations because for each, they definitely don't all of any of none of. We like that. So condition. So let's look at this one here. I've got a container A, and I'm going to count all of the 2's using std count in the container. You run that, and you see that there are indeed 2 2's. 1 2 2 2's. There you go. Beautiful. Now, what if I wanted to count something a little more complex? Let's say I want to count all the numbers that are less than or equal to 3. Well, then all I'm going to do is replace my value with a predicate here, a unary predicate, and change this from count to count if. And if I run this guy,
So I just put standard count if then string dot begin string dot end, and then I have to make this equal to a variable, I think. Yeah, I make it unsigned, then a variable, and then I use map. Oh, I have to put this on a loop as well, I think. Yeah, so int I 0. And I'm gonna put I think unsigned is equal to this, and here I put string I. Let me see if I get any problems if I do this. I wonder if I can do it like this. Oh, but then I have to put some signed here as well. Oh, I forgot to put the value. Let's put just value. And I have to put this as well. And this. But I'm getting another mistake, so. Count. Unused variable. What do you mean? Let me just do something random here. Just see if it's gonna pass. let's see, 0. Unused variable. I don't understand. Oh, maybe, yeah, I have to do this. Oh yeah, and you should return map as well. Standard map. Char is not a function, a pointer. This is probably this. I probably can't do it like this. So maybe I have to put it in this format here. Let's try to do it the way that you did it there. Auto. Yeah, the thing is, I don't understand what this is. It's probably a function with an empty array. So it's auto and turn n equals string I. Oh, and I think he is using auto because he wants any type to be accepted. Yeah, so that's probably what this is doing. It accepts any type, then checks the condition, returns this condition as it goes from the beginning to the end of this vector. Yeah, the issue is that it's counting on a vector, and I'm trying to count on a string. So this might be the problem as well. And here I have to put this. Yeah. Not be implicitly captured in a lambda with no capture default specified. So maybe I need to do this. I don't think that's the problem, but I think the problem is the string thing. No capture default specified. What does that mean? Yeah, I think I have to do something different. To check. The problem with searching this is that I might just look at the solution. Yeah, but here they're using the same thing. But if I do it like this, I'm gonna get a mistake, I think. Let's see if I change this, just size the, like it is on the description of the Stack Overflow thing. It's not a function or a function pointer. It's probably because this is a character. So I have to think about how to convert the character into a string. So I'm gonna test if that's the case first. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't work still. I don't understand why though. Let's see if I do count only. Oh, I have to include this library. Maybe that's the problem. Let me see. It doesn't seem like the mistake I'm getting is because I'm not including the library, but might be. Comparison between pointer and integer. Char and const char. And now it works. It's weird. Maybe I was typing something wrong there. Yeah, but now the issue is I have to think about how to convert the char into a character. Oh, but it still gave me an error here. Unused variable and yeah. So I can erase this. And let's see if I put string. It's probably gonna give me the mistake that I'm trying to do with a character, but it's worth trying. Also, it's not giving me a mistake. Okay. Yeah, so I think this gives me the amount that exists. Now I just have to think about how to put that amount on this map here. How to add values to a map, probably. So it's probably this. See that inserts. Oh, so I need to have an object. So maybe if I do object pointer like he did here. I think this is probably the correct way to write it. So I need the number seconds and the char first. And here's gonna be n. I think this one true doesn't matter, but maybe it does. Yeah, here is using object on the second one. Let me just test and see what happens. I think make pair is just making the key and value, but I'm not sure about these numbers here. I have to use standard, I think. It's not using here, but it's, yeah. So how do I initialize an object? I don't understand this explanation really well, but it seems like you just use this entity class thing. I'm just gonna copy this. Then I'm gonna search more. I guess I never really thought about that up until now, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that C++ has objects, and objects are just classes, but because usually on other languages you would just initialize it as you would create any variable and initialize it as the object. But I don't think I did anything with initializing objects right away in C++. And it's probably not possible. You probably have to do something else. Maybe the map thing is already initializing as an object. So maybe if I search for how to add, again, how to add values to a map. Because this explanation is not really good. So maybe all I have to do is actually erase this and put the stuff that I want here. So the first one is the character, second one is the number. Let's see if this works. Yeah, so it doesn't work. Matching member function for a call to insert.
Hello everybody and welcome to your next C++ Made Easy HD tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to be learning about two more string functions, and that's the insert function and the replace function. So what the replace function does is what it says. It replaces some text in a string, and insert doesn't replace it, but it inserts something so you can add something to a string. Okay, and that can be a vital thing. This is why I say strings are important, because it can help with text files. We know that we cannot insert text into text files. We can only replace
God damn. 17 minutes.
Hello, today we will learn about an ordered map in C++ and how it is different from a map in C++. So map basically stores an elements in ordered fashion. Underlying data structure is balanced binary tree, and so it stores all the elements in some ordering. Okay, but in unordered map, the elements are unordered. There is no ordering that's defined. That's because unordered map uses hash table in which there is a key and value pairs, and the key has to be a hashable type. What I mean by hashable type is that you get a hash of that key, and that hash would be then indexed into that hash table. So that has to be a hashable type. If your key is not a hashable type, then it would not be getting indexed in the hash table. So ways to
You're probably not going to talk about how to insert values. Or maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. But it's declaring as map, so I should be returning a map, so I think the map is the object. Yeah, so it should be like that. Yes, maybe I can do this right here. Is one of the ways to insert into map. The difference with operator is that the insert can tell whether the element is inserted into the map. Also, if your class has no default constructor, you're forced to use insert. Operator needs the default constructor because map checks if the element exists. If it doesn't, then it creates one using default constructor and returns a reference or const reference to it. Because map containers don't allow for duplicate key values, the insertion operation checks for each element inserted whether another element exists already in the container with the same key value. If so, the element is not inserted and it's mapped. Value is not changing anyway. Use insert. If you want to insert a new element, insert will not revert an existing element, and then you can verify that there was no previously existing element. To overwrite a possibly existing element. Yeah, I think this was the problem that someone helped me out while I was doing with the reference thing. So now I'm not sure which one I should use. Oh, this one is not going to work for my case because I don't have the key. Well, actually, maybe I can do the key using the character instead of key here. I think I'm gonna try the first one, and if it doesn't work, the second one. So I'm making a pair with char unsigned. Then here's the string I and the value n. That's the most annoying thing about C++ so far, is understanding the connection, this types here, and how to convert everything. It's really annoying. So I'm getting this. Doesn't make sense. Just one curly brace. I should put final here, just... Oh. I don't understand. Oh, and this is not... This is size T, not unsigned. It still doesn't change anything. If I do it... Let me do it like this and see if it's gonna work here. If it does, I'm gonna leave it like this, yeah. Because the final answer has to be unsigned, so... So let me try this second one. Don't understand why it's giving me only one curly brace though. It's really weird. So here would be result. The key is the string. Value. And I think this arrow pointer to second is... Yeah, I remember I did this on a challenge that some person helped me. But I didn't really understand what the arrow was doing. But I think the second is the name for the second element of the map. See if doing this is gonna help. I always forgot to put the new line there. So I am getting the correct values, I think. Oh, I'm getting them twice because, yeah, obviously I'm gonna get the same values because each time it counts a letter, it's gonna have the number there. Yeah, but this one should replace instead of putting, and I should be getting at least something here. That's what's weird about this. So it definitely has to be in the way that I'm doing this result here and trying to insert it on the map. But it just, yeah. Maybe I should watch videos on maps so I can understand better what it is. It seems like I'm doing the correct thing because I'm not getting any mistakes, and this is what people are telling me to do, but it doesn't work. It might be because of these parts though. But I am getting a number here. That's the thing. So this has to be working. I'm gonna do string I here just to see. It's probably gonna be the character, but I just wanna make sure. Yeah. ABA. Also, this part that I'm not doing correctly, I think. Yeah, here should be key, and here should be key. Now let me look at the solution again. I think it was this. Yeah, map, my map key equals value. I don't think it matters. Well, actually, it probably does matter. Oh, so all I have to do probably is just this. And then, because this already makes the key for the result, which is this thing here, equals to this value. And then I don't have to assert it. And this is just to check if there is a value already in the string, in the map that is equal to the key string. And it points to second equals key. Equals the value, which would be n. So it's checking to see if the value of the key is equal to the second, which is probably yeah. I'm not really sure actually about this second here, but let's see if I do like this, if it's gonna show up anything here. Yeah, it still gives me this thing, which doesn't make any sense to me. If I put result here. Yeah, so now is the problem with the map stuff. I can't print the map. So I have no idea what's going on here. What if I try the other way around and see if it works? Definitely the problem is adding the stuff to the map. I think once I'm able to do that, then I would probably have the result, but let me try this. Maybe I don't need to. Well, yeah, I actually need to put the name of the specific map there. Key value. I always forget to put this at the end. Yeah, I'm still getting this empty thing. Don't understand why. What if I do it outside of here? Just to see if I'm gonna get anything. So n is limited to the scope of the for loop. So to bypass this, I can just do it here. Oh, now I'm getting something. Oh, interesting. So maybe now if I put there, it's gonna work. Hmm. I don't get it. Because it shouldn't have any difference between adding one time and adding multiple times. Each time is a different one. It has to be this thing here. That is the problem, I think. Yeah, still nothing. If I count, I think I already did this. It's gonna give me the values there. So I don't understand. Maybe if I use a pointer or something like that. Let's try it like this. Now initialize a variable of type char with an L value of type const allocator char, aka const char. So maybe I can either do a const char or try it like this first. Yeah, so it doesn't work. So let me try it like this. So hmm. I think I'll have to look at the solution, which is frustrating because I think I'm very close to getting it right. It's just weird that here it works. If I do it outside, it works, but if I do it inside the for loop, it doesn't work. The only explanation is that this string here. Or because when I'm inserting is different somehow. Maybe if I just try to do a result like this, it works now. Equals n. Yeah, it doesn't. What if I initialize this outside, like I did with n, and just make it equal here? Let's see. Oh, so why can't I initialize it like this? So maybe if I use this stuff here now. Yeah, the problem is the conversion, but also I have to dereference the argument. Not sure if like this, or maybe it's inside of here. Yeah, should be the argument. So maybe it's here. It's still the same thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look at the solution. No, so it's doing the same thing that I was trying to do there. I don't understand why this works. Oh, they're using this reference in C and not the pointer. And they're looping using this. And I didn't know you can make plus plus for the key value pair here. Oh, you can add like this. So let me try to use this reference to do the thing there instead. Yeah, so the problem is here though. Oh, actually, if I do it like this, apparently is the way that they are doing there. Yeah, so it doesn't work. So they're probably doing something different. that I don't understand. Maybe it's because it's inside of the loop, so you're just creating a reference for the characters in string. That's the difference. I think I'm not gonna copy the solution there. I'm just gonna leave it like that in case I come back to this at some point to try to solve it again. But I really have to work on this, on understanding these types and these methods. I guess that's why I'm doing this in the first place. But I just don't have time to do this right now because I'm building sites off string. So yeah, once I have more time, I'm probably gonna focus more on C++, but also have a lot of things to do as well outside of that. So who knows? So probably gonna come back tomorrow or some other time and continue to do these challenges for a while. So see you.